When I arrived back in 2015 here in the Falkland Islands to live and work in the Falkland Islands, I thought I would lead a quiet life. And then I met Julie Clark, who at the time runs the Bittersweet Cafe. It was the most southerly LGBT friendly spot when it was still open. And we became good friends, more than being an ally. And then from then on, she started organizing events that would focus on equality and diversity in the islands. It started with community-wide gay pride events in John Street, just outside the cafe. And then it changed into something much more spectacular 2 years later. Bertha was born on its first drag show. And who would have thought that this will become an addition to the Falklands Gay Pride that we now know? Drag Extravaganza is a very unique event. It's basically gay pride, Falkland Island style. And I would say there is a touch of Che in every Drag Extravaganza show that we've done over the past few years. This year, however, is going to be very special as this is dubbed as the last show. So for this one, we prepared some new acts and of course retained the classics. Special thanks to Osley and Dolly Leche. Well, we hope to come up with a different kind of pride events in the coming years. The Falklands Gay Pride is probably the most southerly pride event in the world, and probably the only in-person pride event in the world, as life here in the Falkland Islands is practically normal, as COVID-19 is not present in the community. Special thanks to you, Julie, thank you, and the LGBTQI plus allies in the Falkland Islands.
In November 2017, the Falkland Islands reformed its marriage laws to introduce same-sex marriage and same-sex civil partnerships. At the same time, the law was also reformed to allow for civil partnerships for couples of the opposite sex. The Falkland Islands led the way in providing civil partnerships for opposite-sex couples and introduced these reforms before similar changes were made in the United Kingdom. In the Falkland Islands, all couples are free to choose how they wish to reflect their union, through marriage or civil partnership, with both options conferring equal rights and equal status. Whether same-sex or opposite-sex, marriage or civil partnership, there is the freedom to choose and equality for all couples.
So my transition started back around when I decided to do the medication. It was back in 2018, but before then I've always thought of doing it, but stopped myself for a while. It was because I wasn't sure how the community would accept a transgender among them, because we would have been the first. It was me, Scarlett, and Nicole deciding on whether we were supposed to do it. But along the road, we were doing drag for quite some time now. And although it was just limited within the, the performance space, we really had one chance where we did go out dressed as women, and people either paid no mind or, we just got the compliments coming in and people were just accepting and kind about it. That helped cement my decision for me to start to transition, and I think it was the same for the other girls as well. With the LGBTQ, I think although we are small in number, we are very supportive of each other. We know that we can always speak to each other whenever there's a problem, or we feel like, there's something in our minds and we need to get something off of our chest. I know there's always someone who's always going to be there for me in the LGBTQ community. Whether it's a trans or a gay person or a lesbian, we've always had that support for each other, even if we don't get to see each other on the daily. It's always like, I know I can always speak to you. And I guess they become family here in the Falkland Islands along with everyone else in the community.